Good morning, students. Welcome to Geography class. Today we are going to start a new chapter. This is chapter 9, Polar Regions. You will find this in your geography book in page number 83. You already know about the latitudes of Earth. What are latitudes? Latitudes are imaginary horizontal lines that circle the Earth in an east-west direction. Together they are called parallels of latitude because they ran parallel to each other. Now, the most important latitude which divides the earth into two halves, that is the northern and the southern hemisphere, is called equator. Other than equator, there are other significant latitudes. They are Tropic of Cancer, Arctic Circle, Tropic of Capricorn, and Antarctic Circle. Now, you also know that we can divide the world into different temperature or heat zones on the basis of these latitudes. The earth, as we know, is spherical in shape. As we move away from the equator towards the poles, the rays of the sun have to travel a longer distance and are spread over a large area. So, temperature decreases as we approach the poles. There are three heat zones: torrid, temperate, and frigid. Torrid zone. This zone lies between Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. As these areas are closer to equator, it received vertical rays of the sun throughout the year. So they experience high temperatures and they receive rainfall all year long. What are temperate zones? This zone lies between Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. The temperatures are moderate here as these places receive slanting rays of the sun, and the places located in these zones are neither too cold nor too hot. However, the areas that are closer to the tropics are warmer than the areas that are closer to Arctic or Antarctic circles. So these are North Temperate Zone and South Temperate Zone. And then comes the Frigid Zone. This zone lies between Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere and Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere. The temperatures over here are very low. This zone experiences extreme cold. The winters are around 6 months. There is complete darkness as this area does not receive any sunlight during this period. Now, the polar regions about which we are going to learn today fall in these frigid zones. As there are two poles, that is North Pole and South Pole, there are two frigid zones too. One is North Frigid Zone, that is in the North Hemisphere, and the other is South Frigid Zone, that is in Southern Hemisphere. The North Polar region is called the Arctic and the South Polar region is called the Antarctic. So, the North Frigid Zone is situated between North Pole and the Arctic Circle, as you can see in the picture, and the South Frigid Zone lies between South Pole and Antarctic Circle. The polar regions are the coldest places on Earth and differ the most from every other habitat on the planet. Polar habitats are located at the very top and very bottom of the Earth. They are cold, windy, and have a lot of snow and ice. It's even too cold for trees to grow. And while talking about polar regions, we need to know about tundra. Tundra takes up a lot of the area of polar habitats. It is only place in these frigid zones where any plant can grow, but the ground only thaws just enough for short grasses and moss because tree roots can't go as far down into the ground as they need to because it's frozen. Now what is tundra? The tundra is the coldest of all the biomes with an annual average temperature less than 5 degrees centigrade and precipitation less than 100 millimeter per year, that too in the form of snowfall. The word tundra comes from a Finnish word tuntaria that means treeless plain. So it shows that this region does not have any trees. It has the fewest organisms too. During the summer months, a few centimeters of the permafrost in the ground thaws and becomes soggy. During the winters, the entire ground is frozen. Now, what is permafrost? Due to extremely cold temperatures, the layer just below the surface remains permanently frozen. This frozen layer of ground is called permafrost. This permafrost thaws in summer. Thaws means it melts or defrosts itself. And the land become soggy during this time in summer season. And it is during this summer season in these zones short grasses and moss grow, and in winter season we could not find any sign of tree. To know more about this tundra region, you can visit the given website. Now, tundra region is broadly separated into two types, Arctic tundra and alpine tundra. And in the northern frigid zone, we find both Arctic tundra and alpine tundra. Today we will start with Arctic tundra. So, where is Arctic tundra located? The Arctic tundra biome is the northernmost biome. It covers the land north of the Arctic Circle up to the polar ice cap. It reaches as far south as Hudson Bay area of Canada and the northern part of Iceland. It covers approximately 11.5 million square kilometer. So parts of US, state of Alaska and the countries of Canada, Greenland, Iceland, Norway, Russia all are in the Arctic tundra biome. So as you can see in this picture, this 6 or 8 countries come within this Arctic region or the Arctic tundra region. This Finland, Sweden, Norway, Iceland, Greenland, Canada, Russia and certain parts of USA. Now, how is the climate in this area? Due to its northern position, the Arctic tundra has a very cold climate. Temperature range from 15.5 degrees centigrade in summer to 90 degrees centigrade in winter. Summers are also much shorter than winters. The northernmost part of this biome receives close to 24 hours of sunlight during parts of the summer, and it receives close to 24 hours of darkness during parts of winter. So we can say that Arctic tundra experiences two seasons, summer and winter. Besides these two seasons, there are no other seasons in this region. Winter over here is severely cold and dark, and summer brings some relief with an average summer temperature between 3 to 12 degrees centigrade. This region receives very less rainfall, that is 15 to 20 centimeter annually. During the summer months, sometimes sun is visible at night in these zones in both Arctic and Antarctic zones. This phenomenon is called midnight sun. So, a phenomenon where the sun remains visible at midnight is called midnight sun, and it occurs in the summer months both in north of Arctic Circle and south of Antarctic Circle. So that was all for today. Now you start reading your book, and if you find any problem understanding this text, you can mail me in the class hour in the given mail ID. Thank you.